Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. Welcome back to another trade breakdown. And this trade breakdown is on the Bitcoin short we took yesterday, and it was a fast-paced move again. So you're gonna have to bear with me, guys, because my mouse has been so shit recently. But we caught the move up here, and we've also caught this move down here. Now, let's get straight into it, really. First things first, where we were looking at it from the daily perspective, and we had a tag of the daily supply. So naturally, there was a feeling that we're gonna get back into this area at least. Um, Initially, I thought we'd come all the way down to H4 supply, but no worries at all. This will definitely get tagged and will be a future trade to look out for. Um, so let's just get the tweet up here. Where is it? Where have we got it? This one here. Right. I wasn't as quick to tweeting this as I am to regular trades, but um, been short since 81.6k and looking to add further on at the supply clusters. So the whole premise was at this point I was waiting for two fills. I was waiting for either this one, which was my preferred fill, taking out all this liquidity, trapping in longs, and then coming back down all the way. We didn't get that, and it was becoming more and more apparent we weren't going to get that. There's a few reasons as to why I thought that, but and then secondly, of course, was the trade that we got filled in. Now, if you look here, if you go to the 1 hour, to me initially it was looking like a bull flag, but we have higher time frame resistance, so it wasn't out the ordinary to think, okay, we're going to get tagger supply and then basically crush all the crush the whole channel. But there was more and more weakness getting created. So supply here, a little supply here as well. So I thought, let me try scaling before it just starts to coil down. And um, and yeah, we had a big supply here created, big drop off, tag here. That was my entry, and then stop would be really, and then validation would be a reclaim above this level here, which is my defined range. It's the last high and then the low, the subsequent low after that. That's my invalidation. Second invalidation, maybe you could say here, but for me, if this supply was invalid, my trade is invalid. Now, um, after which it was pretty simple, like pretty big drop off. And then that's when I tweeted out I would like to add further on this supply cluster. It looked pretty good to add back in. We never got to add back, and this is when we just flew. Now, because we had such an aggressive drop off, I'm thinking to myself, it's probably time to lock in profits. If this goes all the way to my TP, which was about oh, my mouse, oh my god, which was about here, then happy days, the trade would have played out and everything would have been right. But if we actually look right here, why did I close here? And honestly, I just went to the 1 minute time frame, and I didn't want a case of having to hold the trade. I'm just trying to really just grow my account as fast as possible. So here we create supply, drop down here, further supply. We had tagged the supply now. When we had to tag the supply, we had demand here. So I'm thinking, there's no supply left. We've got demand here. And if it starts accepting the demand, it's gonna fly a bit, which it did initially, but the grand scheme of things, it just lingered for a long time. So that was a 1 minute like exit plan. Um, you can zoom out and say, okay, supply here got flipped, demand is being created, being created. So when you see excessive demand being created and supply is kind of just losing it, you can just tell like, okay, yeah, it's time to get out. In another situation, had we just kept during this choppy price action, right? This is another thing. Okay, so this was another trade I took, which I got stopped out at break even, right? We might as well talk about this because this is the reality of trading. and I'd rather pack in as much information in one video as possible. Um, so right, this was a little scalp short I had taken, and I'll be honest, I was surprised it didn't really work out. So if we go to the 15 minute, there's no available demand anymore, except this this 5 minute demand block here, which doesn't even get tagged, by the way. This is why it's important to just be adaptive, and you have to move very quickly. 9 out of 10 times, if I'm being honest, it will tag this at the very least, and then that's when your TP would be, right? I was asleep at this point anyways, 2 a.m. for where I'm at anyway. But so this was my supply, I believe, hit, and I entered on the supply. To me again, this is price just coiling down, and 9 out of 10 times it will just coil down further, but doesn't happen. That's fine. And luckily I did set my stops to break even just because I was asleep. And maybe if I'd watched it, I probably would have taken half an hour loss because I would have given it time to just to look, you know. This was the initial trade about that, and yeah, I can't really explain why it didn't work, but from this candle close here, you should be out because now you've got huge demand being created here. Um, the free candle structure, it's just being created. You get out here, you take a small loss, what like 0.1 R if that, and then no problem, no worries at all. This is why it is important to merge high time frame with low time frame analysis because you just increase your the likelihood of the trade working out. However, if you're practicing good risk management and you have everything worked out, that's fine as well. So yeah. Um, Now it's important to just lay off a bit. It's Friday now. You just want to give the market some time to feel itself. You know, it's been a lot of volatile movements, not a lot of consolidation. You have boom, 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 boom. You know, so it's been good to trade. Very difficult to trade as well, though. A lot of things aren't making sense to me as well, and I'm still making money somehow. But I know when the conditions are not in my favor as well, so I'm not being overly aggressive. But really, just to recap, low time frame supply and demand shift. So you're having more suppliers being created, more supply. Last supply um, entry, you took it and it just flew. And then you go down to the low time frame, seeing demand being picked up, and you just take your profits. You know, 3.92R is quite good. Don't know why, I should be about there roughly. 3.92R is good. And then here you're just quick to get out really. Even when things aren't really going the way, you just get out. The only thing I can think of is this liquidity being taken here. Um, this one here. But yeah, um, overall it does take experience. If you're well drilled and you have logic in your trading, then over time you're gonna get there 100%. Just think like a company would think. If you're gonna allocate resources to something, you have to like almost explain why you are. And this is just a little tweet I posted yesterday as well. This is a snapshot taken from my deep journal, and my deep journal is not something I'm going to share, but um, this is a sneak peek, if you will. If you're serious about becoming a proper trader, you need to have these statistics to almost paint a picture and tell the story of how well you're trading. If you don't know how well you're trading, how are you going to address the weak areas in your trading? How are you going to improve? And it's almost hold yourself accountable because it's not kind of you're not just what's the word like freestyling it. You're not just going with the flow. You have a structure, you have evidence, you have reasoning to do what you're doing. But don't overcomplicate it. Just record your trades. You know, it works for different people. I like knowing what my profit factor is or my Sharpe ratio is. I like knowing what my average art is, just to gauge, are the quality of trades that I'm taking good, or are they just a waste? Can I cut these trades out? Some people like knowing their win rate. I don't personally really care. Um, but yeah, some people like knowing what strategies they've taken. It's more mechanical. But yeah, um, it is a trial and error game, and you have to submit to time. Once you do that, you're going to start seeing progression, and you need to start thinking in new ways. You can't fall into old habits, and by doing that is simply by journaling. Journaling will almost put a mirror up against your face and tell you all your flaws. That's what I can tell you, that what's trading like. Not trading, journaling like. But yeah, hope people found value in that. Subscribe and follow the Twitter if you haven't already. There's more information and valuable stuff coming your way. But yeah, other than that, have a nice day. Take care.